In this video, I'm going to show you how to customize your blog on WordPress or your website on WordPress. So again, you're going to go to your website, and then it'll be your website name / wp-admin. And then you'll go ahead and log in, and you'll get to your dashboard. And you first probably want to create a theme. Now, if I go up here and click Visit Site, I can see that I have a theme on here. You probably have the default theme that WordPress set you up with. So if you want to choose a different theme, you can do that in Appearance and then Themes. Okay, so these are all the ones that I currently have installed. You guys probably don't have this one or this one, but you might have all the other ones. And so if I don't want one of those, then I would go to Add New, and I could look at the featured ones. I could see what's most popular. I would not recommend doing latest because they're probably less likely to have been tested by other people. So you might try that in the future, but for now I would stick to featured or popular. And let's say I like this one. I can actually preview my site. So I can see that this is, what it would look like. And so maybe I like this one, and I would go ahead and install it, because you need to install the theme before you can actually use it, because there are a ton of themes out there. So you have to tell WordPress that this is one that you want. Now, once I have it installed, I can actually do a live preview. So this shows me what my actual site would look like with this theme. So you can see that it has posts that I've written. It has different things that I've put on my site, like I have this calendar on here. And you can, if you like that, go ahead and save it and activate your theme. And then now, when I go to this page, when I refresh it, you'll see that it no longer has that old theme. It has this new theme. Something that themes let you do is customize them. So you can go ahead to customize your site by either clicking here, or you can go to Appearance and Customize. And some things that you can change here are, okay, that kind of tells you a little bit about the theme. The theme options, there are a couple different options. Now, these options are all going to be different depending on what theme you pick. So some themes might let you pick a different layout. Some themes might just have one layout. I can change the title, tagline, and logo here if I want. So maybe I want to have an image. Then that would appear as a logo up at the top. Sorry for the odd header image. That's just kind of what I have in there to use. You can choose to display header text or not display header text. You can select an icon. So let's go back. We can change the colors. This theme lets you pick different colors. So maybe I want purple for my headers. You can see that this turned purple. Maybe I want the background color to be different. Maybe I'd like that to be like a light blue or something. Then I could change that. I don't know. This, you can see that it's not changing the color to blue. So the background might actually be behind all of this, and maybe I would only see it on a larger screen. But you can see that the purple has changed. Header image, we had changed that. A background image, you could put an image in the background if you wanted. You would just select that out of your media library or off of your computer. You could change your menus here if you wanted them to be in different places. If you want the main menu to be that, this is your menu here. If you want to change your, let's see, I guess that's all you can do here. And And then widgets I'll get into in a second because that's sort of a different issue. And then the last thing that you can pick is if you want a static page to be your front page. So when people go to, your website, this here, they would either see your blog and all the different posts that you had, or they would see just a static page. So maybe you have an About Me page and you always want that to be there and you don't want it to change as you add different blog posts. Then you can make it be a static page. And maybe the front page would be your About Me page. You would have to create that page first in order to make it into your home page. And then your post page, you would choose something else. So ideally, you would create another page, call it something like blog or my work. But here we'll just put it on a test page. So now when people go to this, my website, when they're on the home page, they would see my About Me page. And then I can collapse this, oops, and then I can save and publish it. And then when I go back to my website here, when I refresh it, you'll see things have changed. First of all, the About Me page is here instead of a blog. I've got an image here. I've got, this is purple because I chose for it to be purple. I have a different menu here. So that is what you can do in Customize. Now I said that I would tell you about widgets. So each theme comes with widgetizable areas. So you can see that mine has a main sidebar that has a search, archives, categories, and a calendar. And you can find where that is because it's not always in the same place on every theme. So mine is here on the side. Some sidebars might actually be, despite the name, in the footer. But you can see that this is all here. Now, if I did not want this stuff to be here, maybe I didn't really want archives because I don't have a lot. I don't really need categories at this point. Maybe I do like the calendar, so I'm going to keep it there. WordPress comes with a bunch of widgets, and they are just little things that you can put into your sidebars or your other widgetizable areas to add some functionality without having to code. So maybe I would put like recent posts, my recent posts, and then save that. And now when I go to this site, if I refresh it, you'll see that it has still the search box because I kept that, my recent posts, and my calendar because I kept that as well. So it's kind of handy to just be able to kind of plug in some different functionality. So those are widgets, and there's just a few widgets that are available to use. It's usually these ones. Sometimes a theme will come with some extra widgets that you could use. But if you want to add a whole lot more functionality, you would do that through what are called plugins. So plugins really enhance your site. They can do, pretty much anything. So you can see I have one in here called Akismet, and that protects my blog from comments and spam. I have YouTube here, and that adds, YouTube videos. So basically anything you can think of a blog doing, you can probably do with a plugin. Let's say I was looking for maybe a slideshow, and I didn't know or didn't want to code that, then I could search in plugins for a slideshow and see what I can find. Now, when you're looking for a plugin to use, you're going to want one that has a large number of reviews and 5 or 4 stars. And you also want it, if at all possible, to be compatible with your version of WordPress. The exception might be if it was updated pretty recently, but it hasn't been tested yet on this version. That's probably okay. But the best you could find, like this is great. It was last updated 3 weeks ago, so the code isn't old and incompatible with the current version of WordPress. You can see that it's compatible. 1,000 people have used this and it's still rated 5 stars. And if I go down, you can see there's a ton more options. This is probably a terrible option. It only has 1 star. It hasn't been updated for 6 months. It hasn't even been tested with my version of WordPress. So I might go ahead and install this. If I see a bunch that look promising, I might click more details and kind of read more about the plugins. Maybe look at some screenshots. What's it gonna look like? Read about the installation, read about the description, and really find out what the best plugin is. Or I might go, into Google and be like, best WordPress slideshow plugin. And then you could kind of read, okay, what do people think are really good? So I'm going to just go ahead and add this slideshow on here, and you just click install now. And then just like the theme, it'll install it, and then you'll choose whether or not you want to activate it right now. So if you don't activate it, you're not going to be able to use it. So I'll go ahead and activate the plugin. And then depending on the plugin, it will show up in one of a number of different places. So you can see mine actually showed up here. So I could go and add a new slideshow right now. Sometimes the plugins will appear under tools. Sometimes they'll appear under appearance. Sometimes you do have to search around to find where they are. But my slideshow is here, and I can just go ahead and add a new one. And it has a bunch of different possibilities that I can change. So I can, choose anything from, do I want to automatically slide to the next slide? Do I want to randomize the slides? So you can do that here. And then you can see here that you could insert an image slide, a text slide, or a video slide. So maybe I wanted, a bunch of images. So I'll select this one, and my first image is going to be this, and maybe I would change the title to my sister and my daughter. And you could add any, other information that you wanted here. And then maybe next I wanted a text slide. So maybe I would say, I love walking my dog or something. Okay, then I could even change the text color and the background color to whatever I wanted. And then let's just go with that, because I'm not really teaching you how to use the slideshow plugin. I'm just in general kind of showing you around a plugin. So if I went ahead and published it, which I would probably want to enter a title, My Great Super Slideshow, and then go ahead and update it. Okay, then I go to slideshows. It'll have it here. And now I just want to view it. So I guess I will go to my site and see if it's up. I do not see it, but maybe it's on my blog page. It is not on my blog page. So in this case, I would probably have to use the short code. I guess this is a good time for a little lesson on short code. So if I wanted to use this slideshow in a post, I would copy this short code. What the short code is basically a shortened version of code, so that when WordPress sees this, it will look for code that this plugin has written that is much, much, much longer and includes this slideshow. So let's go ahead and add a new post. And you can add this short code, My Slideshow. And tons of plugins use short codes. They're super handy because you don't have to write code yourself, and you can just put, now I have a slideshow in my post. And it looks like here, I didn't notice this before, but I could insert a slideshow by just clicking this and choosing it. Okay, so let's go ahead and publish this. And since this test page is my blog page, because you'll remember that I changed my home page to the About Me page. So when I refresh this, I have a new post, my slideshow. It's not showing an image because I didn't select a featured image. I only did that on this post here. But when I go into slideshow, you'll see it has this slide that I did of a text slide, and then it has this picture too. So it's pretty handy. You could even add videos, and you didn't even have to write any code. So that is pretty handy. So that is a plugin. And again, if you want to, just kind of look at them, you can see they could do so much. They can help you run a social network on WordPress. It can help with caching your page. That's not something you really have to worry about now, but might be helpful if you end up building a bigger site. Maybe some favorites that people have would be helpful to get you started. Oh, I guess you have to. I thought this was other people's favorites. This is your favorite, so you could mark them as your favorite. But if you go to popular, you can see, oh, okay, like a lot of people are using these things. Contact Form 7, for example, that allows you to put a contact form on your website without having to enter code. And believe me, coding a form is not enjoyable, so that is super helpful if you are putting up a portfolio page and you want potential employers to be able to contact you. You might want to install this contact form and then put it on your About Me page or your Contact Me page. There's CAPTCHA if you have a form and you want to make sure that people are not putting spam in your form. Google Analytics, you can do commerce. This helps make your site into an e-commerce site if you're selling things. So, okay, that's just a few examples, but you can see that it just really, plugins just do everything. Plugins are built by any developers, and they are, approved and checked by WordPress, but you can see, okay, whoever Austin Matsko is, he wrote this one. Whoever Kelvin Silvestre is, he wrote this one. So these aren't written by WordPress, but that's what makes it possible for there to be so many plugins. It's people writing these plugins and then sharing their code with you, which is pretty neat because then you can use it without having to write it yourself. And so that is pretty much it. We've gone through widgets and we've gone through plugins. So just one last thing here is you might want to change your menus. And you can see my menu here. This main menu has a test 1 and test 2, but that's probably not what I actually want in my menu. So you can see that's here, test 1 and test 2. But I would probably not want this, or I might want test 1, but I would want this as my blog because it currently has my blog. And then maybe I would add contact me and about me, add to the menu. If I were writing a lot of posts, I might want to add the different categories. So maybe I write a lot about computer and sports and I want people to be able to get to those sections really easily. I could add that to my menu. Now when I save this, I've saved, blog, contact me, about me, sports, computers. And then if I go back to my site and refresh it, you can see that the menu has changed to have all the things that I just chose. So that is pretty handy. I can now go click blog and I get to my blog page, which is pretty nifty. I didn't even have to do any coding there. So that is all for this video. But go ahead and check everything else out. Check out the settings and check out more plugins and try using widgets and just sort of explore so you start to get a better idea of how everything works.